here I find my rest. Without you, I fall apart. You're the one that guides my heart. Oh, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Where sin runs deep, your grace is more. Where grace is found is where you are. And where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. And where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. So teach my song to rise to you. When temptation comes my way, when I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. 'Cause Jesus, you're my hope and stay. So teach my song to rise to you. When temptation comes my way, when I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. 'Cause Jesus, you're my hope and stay. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you, Jesus. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I
Church Live.
What's going on, people? How y'all doing today? How you doing today? What's up? It is Worship Church Live with Pastor Fuzz. I'm here. Worship Church Live, worship, serve, love. How y'all doing today? Y'all looking good? I'm gonna move this here. We doing a little wiggly right here. I got to get it stable. But how y'all doing today? It's a beautiful day out. It's a little chilly out here. Where I'm at, but it is good, and it's good to be with you. So I hope you're doing all right. Let me see. I don't think we'll make sure I get them. It's good to be. There it is. All right, I can hear it. Okay. So I don't know who's joined me yet, but for today, we're gonna be talking about happy. The reason I want to talk about happy today is because it took me, usually I can make a post on Facebook or whatever, something silly I've seen or whatever, or something that has happened, I can post it and I can write about it. But this post took me it took me 2 days to make this post because I feel like I couldn't put it into words. Give me a second. That's better. So I feel like I couldn't put it into enough or the right words. And so now I want to talk about that because, again, we're doing a new format this now. In the middle of the week, we're going to be doing Let's Talk About It with Pastor Fuzz during Worship Church Live, because we have the practicality of the word, and then we have let's just talking about some things during the week, because we just need to talk about some stuff sometimes. So happy is what I want to talk about today. And I've been asked a lot, or the statement has been made of me lately, Fuzz, you don't look happy. You don't look your happy self. Or people ask me with that look on their face, like, are you happy? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm okay. And I think with this happening a lot, I mean, there must be a change in my demeanor. There must be a change in my person. There must be a change in how I carry myself or something. I don't know what it is that would make people, ask me if I'm happy or not. Maybe it's my face. Maybe I'm not, bubbly, which is another word that I forgot to add about this. But I'm going to talk about what my post was, and I'm going to bring it up. And so let me go ahead and just get right into it so we don't spend 45 minutes today, because I want to be, and honor your time for your lunch or whatever. All right, so it goes like this. Like my post, if you go to my page, you'll see this morning I posted it, and it poses the question, those questions that were asked of me, and so it started me thinking about, like, what is happy? Like, why would people look at me and say that? And then I would go, well, was having a problem answering. I was having a problem answering that. Like I don't feel like my definition of happy hits me. You understand what I mean? Like when people ask me, am I happy? I'm like, I'm okay, but I can't say I'm happy. And I was thinking about that. Why can't I say I'm happy? Like, what is the, what's the thing? Like, and my wife and I were talking about that. Like, what is, over the course of the years, a lot of things have been changing. A lot of stuff that has happened either in ministry or in life in general has caused me to feel less connected to happy. And I'm like, but I'm not unhappy. I'm not sad. I'm just not happy. Like, what is it? So here's what I found. My definition of happy is inclusive of multiple words. And some of those words, like, well, let me just read it. Let me just read what posted today. In paragraph 2, well, actually, paragraph 3, it says, "What I've come to understand and what I've determined is this. We all have anywhere from 1 to 3 words that we associate with being happy, right? When other people say happy, this is what they're talking about. They're thinking about this view of happy or this whatever of happy. And most time the people, to them, words are interchangeable, right? They say happy, but they'll say, you don't look joyful today. You don't look blissful today. You don't look gleeful today, right? You don't look, some of the words that I loved when I learning jocose and jocund, and they're like, jocular. They don't, I love those. I love J words. So they say, you don't look this. And but they're not saying that. They're saying happy. So if people were to say to me, you don't look cheerful, and I could be, yeah, there's no reason for me to be cheery, then I could agree with that. But if you just say happy, I pause and I don't know how to deal with that. But it says here, right, and what I talked about is people interchange those words. And some of those words, for me, I've always put together and made it the word happy. And the words that I put together, that I combine together, are jovial, blissful, gleeful, carefree, lighthearted, joyful, jocose, the word I told you about before. And then when people ask me if I'm happy, I have to pause because I'm not all of those things. And I know, before we get into this, give me a second and just hear me out. Before you go, well, Fuzz, it means, just hear me out first while I'm talking. Just hear me so I can tell you my definition, right? And what I do with it. And so, to me, those words, all of those words, combine to be happy. Like, I can't separate those words. I can't separate those words and individualize them, and then they all have the definition of happy. It doesn't work for me like that, right? And when people ask me if I'm happy, I have to pause and take it and take the things wait, most of them I am not. If I look at them, I'm thinking most of those words I am not today. Like, I'm not carefree. I've got cares. There might be issues. There might be, but I can be jovial. I can be joyful. I might be wrestling with something on my heart, so I'm not lighthearted, right? So I'm joyful. I'm giddy. I could even be giddy. There's another word that I didn't add in there. Giddy. I could be giddy like that, but all of those things, I'm like, I might have an issue. Something might be underlying hurting me, or I might be thinking about some other things. So I'm not happy because there's no resolve in certain issues in certain areas, either in my life or the life of other people that I'm praying for or whatever. So no, I'm not happy, but I am components of happy, right? So I have other, when you look at the definition of all these other words, right? And I'm going to show you some more here today in a minute. If you haven't taken a look at my post, right? I think, to sum this all up so we don't take too long, right? I think that only little children, or up to a certain point in your life, can you truly ever be happy with the definition that I have. Now, when I am with God, I'm happy. When I'm spending time with God, and when I'm in devotion, or if I'm worshiping, if I can worship, if I can get up on stage and not have to worry about, is this the right key? Is this, does everybody know their part? That beat is not right, or that beat's not, are the people listening? Are they into the the worship? Do they understand what's going on? Do people are people getting the message? You know, when if I don't have to worry about that, then I'm happy, right? I can drive my happy behind home listening to music for hours, right? For hours. And if I've got a long drive and sometimes I get in a happy state and I just want to stay there with God, right? Because God makes me happy. And there are other things that make me happy. Like, I'm not saying I'm never happy. I'm just saying staying in a state of happiness as an adult, as a pastor, as a leader, is impossible to be happy all 100% of the time. And a lot of times when I was happy, when it looked like I was happy, a lot of times I was destroyed on the inside. My heart hurt on the inside sometimes. When I felt if you looked at me and you said, "Boy, he's a happy guy," underneath that was seething pain and hurt and sometimes just unhappiness. But what you saw was just one appearance of happy. So what I'm trying to say is, even if I look happy, I might not be happy. If you see people who might be even at peace, they might not be at peace. They might just be exhibit. What is wrong? What happened to my face? This is gonna go on TikTok, I know. They might be exhibiting, right? What one component of happy, one definition of happy. You might see that, but I think happiness has that culmination of all those things that I truly think only children, only little kids can be happy because they don't have a job. They don't have to worry about where stuff is coming from. They don't have bills. They don't have to worry about transportation. They're not in leadership. They're not broken in their hearts. They're not broken in their hearts because other people are hurting. They might see it and they might be able to feel it, but they're not broken inside, you know. And some kids can feel that and still be happy, but they still can have that whole bundle. So there's only a few things that make me happy, where I feel gleeful and carefree and lighthearted and giddy and jovial. There are only times like that, right, that I have. The little glimpses of it. Not always. And so I think that it's only children that can have that, little kids. Because they're not so far from God and they haven't been immersed in this, in life and humanity and maturity and responsibility. They haven't been immersed in that yet. So they can actually be that. And when I see adults, I've seen some adults who look like they are like happy, like how are you that happy? Like, you know, and I'm a happy guy. Well, I'm what most people would say is a happy guy for the most part. I happen to look over here and see that my boy Kev is watching. What's up, Kev? And hey, Rita and Danielle, what's going on, y'all? And Miss Geneva, how y'all doing? Listen, it seems like though that there are happy moments in your life, and you can have like hours of happiness, or spaces of happiness. Like, for example, we have a pastor here. She's going to have a baby, right? And when you look at her, you know, you like, everybody's like, "Oh, aren't you so happy you having a baby?" But like, you know, what other stuff? If anybody has ever known anybody to have a baby, it's not a cakewalk, man. It's not a cakewalk. There are times when there's issues or just pain or just carrying another human being in your body. I can honestly say that even though Rachel, my wife Rachel, we had 3 kids and we had complications and stuff like that, I can honestly say, because she said this with her mouth, that she was so happy to be pregnant. And so much so that when it was time to let the baby go, she was like, oh, I don't want to, I just love carrying this baby. I just love having this life in me. I just this being able to do this. And I was happy for her. I was joyful in that. So there are times of happiness, right? I was happy when my son got off the ventilator, and when they got his heart working when they were massaging. I was happy about that. I was happy before that because I saw that God had given me a vision of him being okay, and so I was happy. Kev can attest to this. I was happy. I was happy with a lot of goofy stuff that we did as kids. Save the King. When I was happy when I was in Miss Kupian's music class. That was the happiest that I had been in school, right? So much so that I neglected going to my other classes, mostly because I had already, I came in higher in grade status, and I could have graduated coming in when I came into the school. But I needed that, but even in that, even being in in Fran Kubian's class, and being there with Kev and Lindsay and all of them, and going to do stuff I had never done, I was still hurt. Like there was a lot of hurt. There was so much I was wrestling with. So even as a high schooler, dealing with all that stuff, I wasn't the happiest. I wasn't that culmination of everything all at once. Now, again, maybe y'all thinking, okay, it's too much. Like you can't have all of those things at one time. But for me, there was a time when I did. When I was little, I remember. I don't remember it all. I just remember not remembering the pain. You see what I'm saying? So okay, so I propose that we reserve the word happy for children and babies, and then when we're talking with one another in those definitions, we can use one or two or three, but we don't have to make up a new word. We can just be more, we can just think a little bit more about what the words are, and let's take a look at them. So here's what we have. Similar words, right? Here's a few of them. Content, contented, cheerful, cheery, merry, joyful, jovial, jolly, joking, fortunate, lucky, favorable, all those things, right? So we can look at that as a whole, as them all being one, and that makes happy, or we can split them up. And y'all are going, well, what if I feel a different word? Well, look at this. So here's the list, and I didn't get them all, right? I just got down to the J's. But here's the list of words that we can use. Like, let's start using this vocabulary that we have. Let's talk about what it looks like to be a little more accurate, like, wow, if somebody says, for example, mothers, right? Newborn mothers, not newborn mothers. What am I talking about? Pregnant moms. That's what I'm talking about. Goodness, Fuzz, come on, get it together. So pregnant moms, they're glowing, they're radiant, they look delighted a lot of times. They're beaming, right? We can use those words. We've used those words. Let's use those words, and then if they are all of those words and content and cheerful and they're jovial and jocular and they're without pain and they're without worry, then they can say they're happy. Then we can say they're happy. You feel me? Good-humored, thrilled, exuberant, elated, ecstatic, blissful, all of these things, right? Let's use these words. Because to sum it all up in one word, happy, is kind of hard to do. So I know I'm at 20-some minutes, and I see Mick's watching. What's up, little bruh? And I see, hey, Aunt Rusty, what's going on? What's going on? And I see, oh, I love you too, Auntie. So so let me just say this. There are things that make me happy, just like I'm sure there are things that make you happy, and things that make you joyful and joking and feel good and lighthearted. And so I want to give you something that I ran across today, actually, right before we went live, as the one more thing. This is called the one more thing. And this one more thing I want to add because it is a man. My sinuses are acting up like crazy because of it change of weather. But my I want to give this one more thing that it, it makes me feel lighthearted, and it's a memory of something that was funny, and it makes me feel good. So this is a feel good, which brings me joy and brings me peace. And I just want to share this one more thing with you that I'm going to actually post on my page again later. But I brought it here so that we can see. I'm going to read this little story to you because this is the this is the easy humor, the easy lightness that that makes me happy. So in 2020, I saw this. I decided. I don't know if I saw this or I decided to make this joke. But it wasn't. This isn't my real sister, right? This isn't about my real sister. This is just what I wrote. So, my sis called and asked me if I would loan her $300 to help her pay rent. And y'all know me, always willing to help my family out. I told her, "Let me check and I'll get right back." But before I could check, my nephew calls and says, "Don't you give her any money because she's lying." He tells me that she wants to take $300 and get her boyfriend out of jail. Now, for those of you who know me and know my family, now this is the point where you go, okay, right? She wants me to take that $300 and get her boyfriend out of jail, not for rent, because she wants to be under the same roof as him for his birthday. So I thought about it for a minute and decided to give her the $300 because we all need help at times, right? We all need help at times, and you know me, I like to help people. So I called her back and said, "I got you." And a couple of hours later, right? So I sent her the money. I gave her the money. This is another thing how you know it was, because you know where I live. You know my sister used to live. So a couple hours later, I got a call from county jail, and it was my sister who used her one call to call me. And I said, "Hello," and she starts screaming and saying, "Why? Why did you give me counterfeit money? Why did you give me counterfeit money?" And I said, "So you and your boyfriend could be under the same roof for his birthday." so that right there, that made me laugh. I was needing, sometimes you just need things to shift your gears and to move you in a different place. And so that shifted the gears. That shifted and made the move for me this morning. Like, I like to start my day so I can start in a good mood, and that made me feel good. And I looked at it and I said, "Wait," because I was reading it, and honestly, to tell you the truth, when I do stuff like this, sometimes I don't remember. And it was 4 years ago, right? So I'm looking at this. It was almost exactly 4 years ago. I'm looking at this and I'm like, "Wait, oh man!" And then I read the comments underneath, and it just moved me. It just moved me to even a better place, right? And then when I got here, I was praying. I had a whole different thing I wanted to talk about today, but I was praying and I was like, "Lord, I wanted to talk about diversity this week, and I wanted to talk about some stuff that we're talking about, and I felt like, yeah, I'm gonna do that." And then my nephew Josh called me, and I love that kid. No, every time I see his phone number, and every time I pick up the phone and talk to him, I'm happy because that's when I'm like, can have a conversation with him, and it brings me back to some of the memories of him and all the other stuff. And that kid, you know what? That kid, I don't ever say nothing about Uncle Armand. That's it. And don't y'all ever, you better not ever say anything about nephew Josh. Well, I jump on you like whatever. Anyway, listen. I think about it and it made me happy. And then I was like, wait, I just posted about this happiness and I think maybe we should talk about this. So I'm already at 31 minutes and 40 some seconds. And I need to get off this subject, but I just wanted you to know stuff like that brings me happiness, brings me joy, and it makes me cheerful and forget about whatever. And you can only, I think for me, happiness is only short periods of time, because you can't be happy all the time. So don't try to hurt yourself being happy all the time. This is coming from me, the guy who thought that you could be happy all the time. All right, for those of you who follow all the time, y'all know what's going on. I want to give a shout out to all y'all. Thank you for watching during your lunch breaks. I love you all, and watch again next week when we talk about God's happiness. What makes God happy, and His heart. All right, there you go. Y'all know what's next. With God, your religion controls your walk, but your relationship controls your life. If you'd like to sponsor Worship Church Live, go to www.worldoutreach.org/315. Make your donations. Remember, I'm fantastic, you're fantastic, and together we can serve a fantastic God. Amen.
Come on and sing praise. Praise the Lord. Oh, my soul. Praise the Lord. Oh, my soul. I won't be quiet. I won't be quiet. My God is alive. How can I keep it inside? I won't be quiet. I won't be quiet. My God is alive. How can I keep it inside? I won't be quiet. I won't be quiet. My God is alive. How can I keep it? Come on and sing praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Oh my soul. Come on, sing praise. Hey. Praise the Lord. Come on, sing praise. Sing praise. Praise the Lord. Come on, get up off your feet. 2, 3, 4. Come on. Come on, do it 2 more. Come on, sing praise.